Good evening. I'm Katie Moore.
And I'm Sharice Gibson.
Orleans Parish DA Jason Williams was acquitted of 10 federal tax fraud charges today.
But after deliberating for 3 days, a jury came back with a not guilty verdict this afternoon. However, his law partner, Nicole Burdett, was convicted today of 4 charges, all stemming from filing false tax returns. She was acquitted, though, of the same charges as DA Williams.
Eleanor Tabone looks at why she is facing prison time while Williams is in the clear.
It took the jury 16 hours to deliberate, finding New Orleans District Attorney Jason Williams not guilty on all counts in his federal tax fraud trial.
There was nothing there. Billy and I always thought this should never even have been here in the courthouse. So the jury clearly felt the same way we did.
Lisa Monet Wayne and Billy Gibbens smiling on the steps of the federal courthouse after winning client Jason Williams' case. The government failing to prove he was guilty on account of conspiring to defraud the United States, 5 counts of falsifying his tax returns, and 4 counts of failing to report cash payments.
He needs to move on, and he will do that.
He goes back to work. Yep.
Co-defendant Nicole Burdett, however, was found guilty on 4 separate counts for falsifying her own taxes. Her attorney, Mike Magnus, saying in a statement, Nicole was collateral damage of a politically motivated and wrong-headed prosecution, one that resulted in not guilty verdicts on 10 counts. There is no way that Nicole ever would have been charged, but for the government's overreach. But why was Burdett convicted and Williams cleared? I asked Bill Nielsen, a law and tax expert from Loyola University, that question. What was the nail in Nicole Burdett's coffin?
It was the simplicity of the case against her, and she was the conduit who gave the information to the return preparer.
Jason Williams is now a free man. He gets to keep his elected position as district attorney and can practice law. But how will this trial affect Jason Williams' ability to move forward? Has the dark cloud which loomed over the DA since he stepped into the office finally cleared?
He's been exonerated, and that's why we have these trials, and that's why we have juries of his peers. And I think he can move on.
Burdett is set to be sentenced on September 30th. So what's next for Nicole Burdett?
I think they're going to sentence her to jail, and then she's going to be on probation, and the IRS is also going to pursue her for the civil aspects of this case.
Professor Nielsen says it will be very difficult for Burdett to appeal. Her conviction means she can no longer practice law in the state of Louisiana. But after a sentence, she can reapply for her licence, but it'll be very difficult to get back in. Professor Nielsen says Jason Williams isn't out of the woods yet. They could still come after him for civil fraud. Now, that doesn't mean jail time, but if they prove civil fraud, he would have to pay back nearly $500,000. It wouldn't affect his future as DA, but if they can prove civil fraud, he would have to pay back nearly $500,000. It wouldn't affect his future as DA, but he could possibly face an expensive future. Eleanor Tabone, Eyewitness News.
We're hearing from other elected leaders about the verdict tonight. Orleans Parish Sheriff Susan Hudson says, quote, "We as public servants in our city's criminal legal system have a vital role to play to reform this system." City Council President Helena Moreno says proper and fair treatment was delivered by this jury and justice was served today. And Mayor Latoya Cantrell said in part, quote, "With this verdict on a personal matter now rendered, the city looks forward to the district attorney returning his focus to the residents of the city of New Orleans and their public safety."